Greetings of the day. I am Lakshman Jaju, the Assistant Professor, GS College of Commerce, Varda. In the last video of Business Finance 1, we have discussed about classification of sources of fund. And according to the criteria, we will first discuss about classification on the basis of period. We will start with the classification on the basis of period of the fund. In this lecture, we will discuss about what is equity share, what are the characteristics of equity share, what are the rights of equity holder, and what are merits and demerits of having equity share from the perspective of a company, also from the perspective of shareholder also. Starting with the definition of equity share. Equity share are those shares which do not enjoy any kind of preferential rights in the matter of payment of dividend or repayment of capital. That is why these shares are also termed as ordinary shares. These shares do not have any kind of what we can say preferential rights which are enjoyed by the preference shareholders. These shareholders are also known as the real owners of the company, and the capital raised by this source is not refundable during the lifetime of the company. These are the very basic or very main, what we can say, very important classification, very important type of share capital, as these shareholders are real owners of the company. Speaking to its feature or characteristics, the very first feature is it is a non-refundable capital which is not to be redeemed during the lifetime of the company. It can be redeemed only in case of liquidation or winding up of the company. Until that, company has no worry for refunding the funds. Second is, these shareholders are known as residual owners, because whatever the amount of dividend or whatever the amount of redemption in capital they would receive after the payment of all the creditors, all the borrowers. For say, with respect to payment of dividend, out of the profit, dividend is paid. After getting the net profit, first of all the reserves are deducted from it. After deducting reserve, the preference shareholder has first right on the profit. Whatever their percentage which is fixed by the law or articles of association, memorandum of association, that percentage of dividend would be received to them. And after that, whatever the profit may be remained, that is the profit for the purpose of dividend for the equity shareholder. Same case with the repayment of the capital. In the case of repayment of capital, it is being seen that first of all the creditors, secured and unsecured, are settled. Then preference shareholder would receive their capital, and after that whatever the amount would be left, whether it is in surplus, whether it is in shortage, the same amount would be distributed on pro rata basis between equity shareholders. Third thing is, they have the controlling power so that their risk exposure should be what we can say contained, and they receive voting rights by which they can nominate from them as some persons as directors. They can watch day-to-day working of the organization. This can help them to control the operations of the company. Next thing, they have claim on the asset after the secured creditors are being redeemed or are being repaid with their funds. Then they can claim on the asset, whatever the asset left with the company, they have right on that asset. Next thing is, they don't enjoy fixed rate of dividend. Rather than that, they have fluctuating rate of dividend. It means that there is no fixed dividend for them. If the profit left after paying preference holder would be huge, they would be get higher dividend rate. When the profit is less, they would not get higher rate of dividend. In certain cases or in certain time, we can see that they even don't get any kind of dividend. This was up to the features of the equity shareholders. Now we will discuss about rights of equity shareholder. First right and important one is right to vote. They have been assigned as discussed in feature right to vote. They can vote in the all the important matters of the company. They can participate in the AGM and they can vote for the beneficial of the company as well as shareholders also. Second, then they have right to income. They have right to receive the dividend from the company because they have invested their amount. They should get return in that form. They have been get income in form of dividend. Second, next thing is they have preemptive right. Preemptive right means whenever the company is been issuing the shares, they have the right to, we can say, first right to get their portion in that share if they desire so, but on the pro rata basis they can have the proportion in the new capital, they can increase their capital base or they can increase their investment base in the company. That is preemptive right. Next thing is they have right to have knowledge of corporate affairs. Whatever the corporate affairs are going on, equity shareholders has been given right to, they can take into knowledge what is going on, whether it is correct or not. They can inspect their things. They have right to inspect the books. They can inspect whatever the registers and books are maintained by the company and company secretary. They can inspect it, whether they are maintained as per law or not, whether there is any irregularity or not. Again, next thing is they have right to transfer their shares. We say that in the earlier part, the equity shareholders are not to be redeemed during the lifetime of the company. That is very correct thing. But as an equity shareholder, we can sell that share going to the capital market and anyone can purchase it, so then we can realize our investment. They have right to transfer their share. And last one, they have right to protection of company. If there is any irregularity found in the part of management, they can protect the company by going to the court of law for the purpose of resolution of the whatever the irregularities found in the books or in the operations of the company. Now, merits or advantages of equity share. Very first merit from company point of view is there is a permanent source of capital which is to be redeemed only in the case of winding up of the company. Second thing is the economical source, as dividend is not to be paid on the regular basis. It is quite economical for the company to issue equity share capital as on when there is substantial profit available. Only at that point of time we have to pay the dividend. Third thing is increase in credit worthiness of the company. We can say that whenever the company wants to go for borrowing the capital, their balance sheet would definitely support them, because equity share capital is the part of their own fundraising and that would not add to the borrowed capital in the balance sheet. That is why they can avail the credit facilities very easily. Next thing is they can maintain debt equity ratio, which is very important from the point of view of the company for judging their financial position. They can have less debt with more equity, which is considered ideal, because debt attracts interest burden, whereas equity holders do not have any kind of this burden even for the dividend payment also. Next thing is no increase in losses when there is an unfavorable situation in the market. Like we can see in the today's scenario of pandemic, all the companies' sales are hit, they are not generating good profits. At this point of time, if a company is not having profit, they are suffering from losses, they are not in need to distribute the dividend to its equity holders. Next thing is part of the liquidity from the shareholders point of view. As a shareholder, we can definitely transfer share at any point of time, which help us to have the liquidity option in our hands. By going to the capital market, we can sell this share. Next thing is participation in the management. Definitely equity shareholders has been given right to participate in the management by voting in the meetings, by giving their membership, or by giving their what we can say, by giving their nomination in the management by way of electing a director from themselves, by which they can participate in the day-to-day activities of the management and company. Next thing is security. Equity shares can be used as a security for the purpose of hypothecation. In the case of raising the loan from the equity shareholder point of view, they can be used as a security asset. Next thing is, generally when there is a good economic situation, equity shareholders enjoy high rate of dividend without any capping on the dividend rate. Last part is the appreciation. Along with these benefits, there is a benefit that regularly if company is generating good profit and good dividend is being given to the shareholders, there would be capital appreciation seen in the share prices of the company. But along with this, there are certain demerits and limitations to the equity shareholder from company point of view, it is a costly source of finance. Why costly? Because the expenditure for issuing equity shareholders is quite high. It requires lot of time, efforts by the point of view of company, which makes it costly. Second thing, loss of control. Whenever we are going for issuing equity shares, we have to sacrifice our ownership and we have to distribute that ownership with the shareholders, which is not a good thing for a company. Next thing is inefficiency. As equity shareholder capital can be raised in bulk amount, there is quite chances that these huge fund can result in the inefficiency of the company. Next thing from the point of view of company as well as shareholder is that it attracts more risk. From company point of view, there is a risk of overcapitalization. From shareholders point of view, is if company underperform, their money would be at risk and it is not been secured or backed by anything until and unless all other creditors and shareholders are not settled. Next thing is less attractive as they are the residual owner of the company. They are residual owners. They receive everything at the end of every portion. They are less attractive for the investors because they are not that much secured as compared to other sources. Next thing is speculative behavior, which can be seen in the market. We can see that whenever there is a speculative behavior, the shareholder would be at loss. Investor can go in the market using speculation, and a layman person who invests in the equity of the company has to suffer from the speculative behavior of the investors. Last thing, it cannot be considered as a steady income source because there is no guarantee of receiving dividend at any point of time in any financial year. If a company is generating huge profit, even after that, as per the concept we have discussed in the objectives, under the concept of profit maximization, company can again say that we don't have enough profit for distributing to the shareholders. As we have certain expansion plans, they can retain their profit. That is why there is no equity. Shareholders do not enjoy any steady income source. In the next portion, we will discuss about further part, that is preference shareholders. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.